Hi, my name is Dr. Lisa Sugiura and I'm the Postgraduate Programme Area Leader for Distance Learning in the Institute of Criminal Justice Studies. I'm really pleased to talk to you about our Postgraduate Flexible Framework, the MSc Criminal Justice Programme. So this course provides a unique, flexible approach to studying. Students can choose the modules that they are interested in based on particular subject areas, and this enables them to build their own degree. So you can graduate with an exit award that is tailored to your academic or professional needs and interests. And students are able to graduate with either a degree in one single subject area or two. The entry requirements for this programme are ordinarily a second-class honours degree or equivalent in a relevant subject area, but in exceptional circumstances, applicants with strong and relevant work experience will be considered. For international students, where English is not your first language, the proficiency must be demonstrated through a minimum IELTS band of 6.5 with no component score below 6. If you don't meet those English language requirements, you can still achieve the level that you need to be at before commencing the programme with ourselves by successfully completing a pre-sessional English programme before you commence the course. So the course delivery has 3 modes of study. Firstly, you can study the Flexible Framework programme on campus. This can be studied full-time and this will take place over a year. Now, the contact hours you have through your campus-based teaching are usually 6 to 8 hours a week. However, the suggested study time is that it should be viewed as a full-time job, so 35 hours per week per minimum. Now, if you undertake campus-based study on a part-time basis, your contact hours are ordinarily around 2 to 4 hours per week, and then your suggested study time is 17.5 hours per week, and that's obviously to include things like wider reading and research. You can also study the MSc Criminal Justice Flexible Framework via distance learning, and this is delivered over 2 years part-time. You get up to 6 hours per module contact time, and this involves things like online tutorials and online seminars where you can meet your peers and your module coordinator directly. You also get a personal tutor as well, so you'll have other contact time with staff and of course your supervisor and so on. Your suggested study time is 10 to 15 hours per week on average, which includes course content and wider reading. But with distance learning, you don't get timetabled lectures. It's not that you have particular places to be, or even online you don't necessarily need to schedule things in on a weekly basis, because with distance learning it needs to be more flexible to fit in around your professional or personal responsibilities as well. So the flexible framework has different pathways, also called subject areas, and this is essentially what you can graduate with. So we have economic crimes, crime science, criminal justice, criminal psychology, criminology, cybercrime. However, this is only delivered on campus. It's not available via distance learning. We have forensic investigation, and that is only available via campus as well. Intelligence. Now, this can only be studied in combination with another pathway, so it needs to be something and intelligence, as in you get the dual exit award where you graduate with 2 subject areas. International criminal justice, security management, and victimology. And victimology is only available via distance learning. So the course structure can be broken down as such. So if you study Route A, which is where you graduate with one subject area, so you pick one of those pathways that was on the previous slide and you graduate with an MSc in economic crimes on its own, for example, this is what you would study. You would study your subject core module, which would be economic crimes in that example, a specialist optional module, which is related to economic crimes. Then you get to pick a general optional module, which is available from all of the optional modules that we deliver. If you're on campus, you then do a 30 credit research methods and research ethics module. If you're distance learning, you do 2 15 credit research methods modules. Now those are all directly linked to your dissertation, which is 60 credits. Now if you study in Route B, this is where you graduate with 2 exit awards. So for example, economic crimes and security management. So you study the subject core modules for economic crimes and security management. You then pick a specialist optional module, which is related to either economic crimes or security management. Then on campus, the research methods and research ethics, or distance learning, the 2 15 credit research methods and research design and ethics modules, and then your 60 credit dissertation. Now, it should be noted that with your dissertation, it needs to be related to your subject core or cores. So essentially, if you were doing counter fraud if you're doing economic crimes as a sole exit award, then you need to study a topic that is related to that field. If you were studying security management and economic crimes, the topic could be related to either one of those. If your topic is completely unrelated to your subject core module or modules, your exit award, then you would graduate with the overarching course title of MSc Criminal Justice. So this is what the course structure looks like in a model form. So you can see where all the modules are set out over the year or years. So with campus, if you're doing it full time over the 1 year, you would see that you study your first subject core in teaching block 1 alongside your research methods and research ethics module, and then in teaching block 2 you would do your specialist optional module and the general optional module as well. And if you were doing part-time, the research methods module would be undertaking in your second year, and the dissertation is always in either the second year for part-time or in teaching block 2 with full-time. Although the research methods module, for the assessment for that, it feeds into your dissertation, so you're really sort of planning your dissertation quite early on in the process of undertaking your masters. So with distance learning, the course structure looks a little bit different. So you've got your subject core modules in teaching block 1, the first one in year 1, the second one in year 2, and then the optional modules are delivered in teaching block 2. And along with your research methods in year 1. For that, you undertake an assessment which is again linked to your dissertation and which gets you allocated your dissertation supervisor. You then study your second research module, research design and ethics, in teaching block 1 of year 2. Where the distinction lies is if you're on route A or route B as to whether you're studying subject cores in teaching block 1, or if you're doing more optional modules in teaching block 2. You can see how it's spread out. So we offer a variety of assessments in this department. We tend not to have any examinations for our postgraduate modules. There may be some online tests. Sometimes these are not credit based as well, so it might just be pass fail, sort of reflective learning. But usually the types of assessments that we do use are things like poster presentations, And this, this can be delivered campus or distance learning. Presentation groups, again, with the variety of platforms that we have available to use at our disposal nowadays, it is possible to do presentations online or pre-record or do narrated PowerPoints and things like that. That might be as an individual or as a group. Academic essays or reports, which are more practical based, self-reflection assessments, and research proposals. And of course there's the 15,000 word dissertation or major project that you could undertake as well. And the distinction there is the major project is usually driven by a collaboration with an organisation, for example. So there's a slightly different approach and structure to the delivery of a major project as opposed to a dissertation. But that would be your final project and worth the 60 credits of your master's. So just some examples of where our graduates go into employment. So policing and law enforcement is a key area. So both as officers or civilian staff, things like crime analysts, probation work, so the criminal justice system as in the courts and the prison service, things like local authorities, as well as things like civil service, academia and research. So after your postgraduate studies, you might decide that you would like to extend this further and undertake a PhD or professional doctorate with ourselves. Many of our graduates have gone on to work in the third sector or the private sector and in government as well.